Alright, this part we're going to be putting part of the tunnel together. We have center section, your left panel, and your right panel. You're just going to use M2 by 10 screws all the way along on both sides. And they'll just screw into here. Alright, so after all the screws, you should be left with this. It takes about 24 M2 by 10 screws. And I'd like to add, before screwing it together, to add the bearings into the side panels. And they're 6 by 12s. And that's part number from Traxxas if you want those. Alright, so another part to the tunnel will be your swing arm to attach to the bike. These bearings that came off the original swing arm. I don't remember the size of it right off, but you'll use the spacer that it has as well, and then you'll use, make it to where you can see, an 8mm M4 screw here, a 12mm here, then these two, they were 16mm. You'd want to use countersunk, but I don't have any countersunk, so I just use button head, and I haven't had any problems with it, so there's that. Okay, in this part of the video, you're going to put the skid together. You have your right skid and your left skid, your tensioning system, your suspension parts, 75mm shocks. I recommend the G-Made brand because they have about the right amount of stiffness for this. You'll need mainly M3 by 14mm, but you'll probably want an assortment of M3 screws. Alright, so I use the M3 by 14s. I'm going to put the spacer up here, and I've got the two tension bar supports put in, and then with your guide wheels here, you put a set of the 8 by 12s into it. Alright, here's what the rear idler should look like. And then there's a M3 nut that goes right at the top here, and that allows you to adjust your tension. And then two more M3 by 14s go in here. Make sure not to tighten them all the way down, so you still have free movement. And then I'm going to put the arms up here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so got arms on, again using M3 by 14s. These ones I need to check what the length was again, but basically just go all the way across. The shock spacers go in between there. You got your shock, obviously. But then this upper part here is a little trickier. So you'll have your spacer, obviously, will go in. But then I used a 3/32 rod, and it goes right down the center of an M3 hole. And this is about 35 mil long. You'll just push that down in, making sure that it gets your shock. Obviously I'm struggling. And then shove that in, and use something to push it in further. Then once you put it on the tunnel, the screws holding it to the tunnel will hold, or will make sure the screw doesn't, the pin, not screw, doesn't come out. But other than that, I used a 140 mil hot racing limit strap. I'll just wrap it around like this, put a screw in, and that's about how it will look. But yeah, there's the skid. Okay, so attaching the skid to the tunnel, we used 4 M3 by 16s. You could use 14s, but I used 16s this time. So I just go these two areas, same as here. And that's how that goes together. Alright, so this part's going to be putting the track pieces together using 16 gauge by 2.5 inch finishing nails. And all you do is take your links, put them together, and then depending on your printer, it will probably have better tolerances than mine, but just push them in, and then once you've done that, take a lighter or a torch, just heat up the tab, and melt it over. I'll go down more than that, but that's how you put track together. And I just go with the double paddle and the single, and then you just alternate.